3 times.
Bobby needs to get on the list.
It just went out.
I wouldn't mind showing up at Love and War sometime to do one of those.
Yeah. Hang on just a second, Bobby. I'm doing 3 things at once here.
I'll try to send it to Bobby.
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't get it.
And Michael sent it out. So anyway, I'm sorry, Bobby, but we'll get you on. Just hang on.
I sent to
I wasn't
Bobby
even a paid member, and I got it.
Okay, Bobby, you got your pen?
Yes.
It's 907 852 000.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, just go to
852-000.
yeah, just go to join meeting, and then just put in that number, and that'll bring you right in.
All right, thanks.
Okay, now we got Carrie Maddox.
Hi, Carrie.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
We'll give it a little
Hey,
time
Gary.
for some more people to show up.
Man, I tell you.
Not everybody's clock works the same, you know.
Well, we're
Well,
just,
hey, if you guys want, I'll do some small talk while we're waiting for some people to come in.
You can even
where's
do
Carrie?
big talk.
I mean, where? Oh, there's Brianna. Okay, there.
We
Brianna,
love
we'll
small
give you once it starts. We'll give you the big picture here. I don't know why it's showing up on the recording right now, but right now I've got it on gallery view, so I've got everybody on the screen. But
Yeah,
then when
me
you start
too. I have
talking,
that.
I'll put it on speaker view whenever you start talking.
I call this Brady Bunch mode.
Yeah. And we've got, I think everybody that's signed on right now is on the screen. Here's John Jaggers. We're going to get, this is probably most people we've had in a while on this.
There's Gigi. Hi, Gigi.
And Gigi's on there, yeah.
She's being awful quiet.
Yes, I am.
This does make me want to break out that Brady Bunch theme song, doesn't it?
They say you can get 49. You can get 49 people at one time on the screen. I've never done that, but that would be busy.
Really tiny.
I was thinking about when Harry said
Okay.
something about Zoom. I was thinking about that rap song. All I want to do is a dun 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 and a zoom. Remember that song?
Just shake your
I
rump.
bet this is Joe. This
I got
says
it.
admin.
I got you, Gigi. Yeah, that's good times. That's like circa
Hey, there's Joe. Hey,
1994.
Joe.
Exactly.
Here comes another one. Good gosh, this
stupid era.
Yeah,
So I call it my stupid era.
that's good.
Okay.
Good.
Here comes an iPhone.
Oh, there's John. And so we got somebody else down here who's on the iPhone here. Brianna, I tell you what, you have attracted a crowd. We got almost more people than I know how to
Cool.
manage here. Okay.
That's great.
Rick Valente's
fun.
on.
There's Rick, yeah.
There's Rick Valente.
Hey,
I may,
Rick.
I may
And
get.
then everyone say
I may-
hi to Joe. Joe's going to be our critiquer tonight. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
Here comes somebody. Here's Bobby Montgomery. He made it. Okay.
You've reached the Miltons. Linda, Lorelai, Joe, Sonny, and Juno.
Here's Bobby.
Please leave a message after the tone.
We've got coffee going. We've got wine going. I
Yeah,
see
we-
you guys out there.
That's
This
right.
is
Where are
the-
you located?
I live in Dallas, Texas. I actually live in Richardson.
Okay.
Richardson is my hood.
I used to live in Richardson.
Yeah.
I used to live in Richardson. I went to Richardson High,
Yeah, Eagles.
Northwood Junior High.
Very cool. I love it. It's wonderful.
I lived off Beltline and Central.
Right there. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
live on Beltline Road? Like
No.
facing the oh,
No,
okay.
it's back. Actually,
Yeah.
it was in a.
Be a great pizzeria there.
I was broke in those days. God, I was broke.
Well, Jessica, thank you so much for organizing this and for having me today.
You're welcome. I'm super glad you got to be here. I first found out about Brianna when I was invited to one of her workshops that she was doing, I guess, a year and a half ago or so at you and your husband's restaurant. And it was a question and answer critique session with Michelle Vice Maslin, I believe. And I was just really struck by all of her knowledge and just her attitude. And so I started following you on Facebook, and I thought, well, she would be a great speaker. And one of the things that really struck me about Brianna was her determination, because when she talked about writing her first book, I think you said that you have small children, and so in order to get the book done, she had to get up at 4 a.m. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so now when I think if I want something or if I want to do something, I'm like, do I want it 4 a.m. bad? That's kind of my standard now.
Yeah, like how bad do you want it, right? Yeah, no, that's great. It's funny. I actually just, I pressed repeat and did the same thing and launched my second book last week. So I literally did the 4:30 a.m. wake up call, you know, did the writing for 2 hours. The girls woke up at 6:30, get them ready for school, and then hit it again. And I mean, it's a really weird, manic kind of like crazy month and a half, but it works for me. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna do what works.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So we met, Michelle Vice Maslin is a Emmy Award winning sync and music license. She's a singer songwriter, but she's a sync and music licensing expert. She's placed over 5,000 songs in film and television. And she knows her stuff, man, when it comes to sync and music licensing. So she's very, when it comes to songwriting for her, she's not really, she used to perform, she's not performing anymore. Her projects are very, very specific, and they're geared towards film and TV projects, or, you know, people will contact her and say, hey, I need a song for an intro, you know, for a Disney show or whatever it might be, or a movie. Or so, you know, she's definitely not on the, I mean, obviously she's very creative, but she's not thinking, oh, I'm going to write music so that I can go perform it at a open mic, or, you know, it's just a kind of different avenue that she's taken with songwriting, but it's awesome. It's exciting.
Okay, Michael,
Yes.
do the business thing, and then I'll mute everybody. Just mute yourself, if you will, so it won't be making any noise.
Well, there's as everyone knows, that the live events are pretty much gone to Zoom, except for Love and War that we talked about on the fourth Thursday. And everybody's encouraged to come out and bring your own mic on that night. And otherwise, we've got lots of room on the Zoom open mic on each Wednesday, starting at 7 o'clock. And then the Saturday showcase, you know, that's by invite, but you're certainly encouraged to watch on Facebook. We post it live on Facebook. All of these are posted live on Facebook, so I think we're on Facebook now, probably.
Yes, we're streaming live.
And
now.
the other major item that I'd like everybody to think about, we've sent out some things about. This is our annual donation season, and we're part of North Texas Giving Day on September 17th. Encourage everybody to, you know, sign up to give whatever you can. We always could use the money to keep these programs going, keep everybody happy and educated and performing whatever we do. So take a look at that. And other than that, I can't think of anybody else have any news. Anybody doing it? Anything musically that we'd like to hear about? Any new songs out there? If you have them, come on, bring them on critique night that we're going to do tonight.
We've got about 7 songs for tonight.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Brianna, when we have experts like yourself, we often ask them if they would like to be one of our guest judges of the songs of the evening. Would you be willing to do that for us?
So I was actually telling Jessica, I will stay as long as I possibly can. I may not be able to make it through all 7 of the critiques. I'm happy to stay for at least the first few. I have 3 young girls who I need to tend to and make sure they're fed and all of the things. So I can't stay too far beyond. But yeah, no, I definitely want to stick around for a little bit and help and be a part of it.
Great. Well, that's great. Well, we'd love for you to go ahead and get started. I think Jessica's given us a little bit of intro. She tells us that you're an amazing songwriter, consultant, et cetera, et cetera. You even have a restaurant. What is your restaurant? That's kind of a well-known restaurant, isn't it?
It's called Victor Hugo's, and it's in Oak Cliff. And it's on Beckley and Zhang, next door to Jonathan's. There's Spiral Diner, Jonathan's, and VH. So Victor Hugo's, it's a little house that got a 1920s old home that got converted into a restaurant a few years ago. So yeah,
cool
we've been,
name, right?
yeah. Well, my husband's name is actually Victor Hugo, so it's named after him. Yeah. His middle name is Hugo. And yeah, it's like his mom was reading Les Mis when she was pregnant. It's one of those, like it's like legit. So we've been open for, it'll be 6 years this month. I can't believe it. Just like the music industry, the restaurant industry has been hit really hard. And this has been a wild ride, most definitely. But, we're just trying to stay positive and do our thing and just hang in there. Because that's all we can do, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I really, Jessica, again, I really appreciate the invitation. Harry, thank you so much for, helping get this organized. And when Jessica asked me to come speak to you, we kind of went back and forth as to, well, what do you guys want to hear about? What would be helpful? What would be most valuable to you guys? We narrowed in on a few topics. But what I'd love to do, I will kind of go into sort of my process. We talked about creating, clarity in your artist vision. We talked about online business strategies as an artist, as a musician. And we talked about ways that, to have like ways to get things done, like productivity and plan of action and ways, like she was telling you, I needed to get my book written. So how did I get it done? I organized my life around it. I woke up really early and I created, I created a plan to get it done. Okay. So we talked about plan of action and that might be a topic that you guys are interested in. A little bit about me. I'm a performing artist consultant, singer-songwriter, been doing music my entire life. I started off in musical theater because when I was growing up, there weren't music schools or artist development programs on every single corner. So musical theater was my vehicle growing up, and I absolutely loved it and went through high school and college doing musical theater and realized when I graduated, I ended up in Los Angeles at Pepperdine University. When I graduated, realized, okay, I'm burnt out. Like I've stepped foot on one theater stage in one show since I graduated college. And that was a long time ago. So ultimately, I realized that music was my first love. I did commercial and radio voiceovers because I was in LA. I'm like, well, I'm in LA, so I should be an actor, right? So I kind of dabbled in that for a little bit and realized, well, that's not me either. So I was able to kind of realize music is my first love. It's my first passion. I was living in LA, and at the time, American Idol, reality television, like reality singing shows were just starting to really hit. So I auditioned for American Idol on season 4, which was the season that Carrie Underwood won. And so I actually was on season 4 of American Idol. And that was like 100,000 people auditioned that year. I think season 5 exceeded 100,000 people auditioning. And then from there, it started going down. It tapered off a little bit. But I was definitely kind of in that crazy cattle call mix. And it was a really interesting, kind of crazy, weird whirlwind experience. But what it did was it showed me like I had what it took to actually, do something in music. If I can be, a top 100 finalist out of 100,000 people, then obviously I can sing and I can perform. And it's kind of good to know that, so that gave me a lot of confidence to just continue going on with music. And I was able to eventually form a band, gig around Dallas. I started having children. So then things started evolving for me as far as my relationship with music and how much time I had to really do those things. And I started kind of transitioning my role. So I started performance coaching and vocal coaching. And from that, I formed the material for my first book, which kind of takes you through my journey on American Idol. But then it really goes into like audition prep and just really focused in on, you know, navigating the highs and lows of your music journey. That's something that I always tell people. Like there's a gazillion, I mean, you guys know me, how many books are there on how to play guitar or how to have an effective song or how to sing, but no one is really talking about like, how do you actually deal with the real life highs and lows that you go through as an artist and as a creative? Because we all know that it's not easy being creative. Like, you know, you could be super, like, you put out a great song, you're super proud of it, you're excited, and you kind of hit this high, or you have a great performance or whatever it is. And then the very next day you're like depressed because your high wore off, and then you're like, you know, looking for the next high, the next creative high, right? So that's something that I talk about in my first book and kind of leaned off of. But you know, what happened for me was that first book opened up opportunities to speak at music festivals, to meet people like Michelle Weiss-Maslin, and start collaborating with a lot of different people in the music industry on different, you know, in different ways, on different levels, and connecting with independent artists who weren't looking necessarily to get a record deal, right? They were looking to create sustainability in their artist careers. So I started working with them on online business strategies, which is another topic that we kind of brought up today, Jessica. You know, ultimately those foundational pieces, the marketing, like you guys could write a gazillion amazing songs, or an artist can write a great, you know, a ton of great songs, but like if they don't know how to market it, or if they don't know how to have a really clear, concise, compelling image or story, you know, you got to tell those stories, right? You have to let people know. We're saying someone needs to mute. Oh, Seth Berg, mute. Then, you know, it's going to be really hard for people to get their music out there when they don't understand the marketing behind it, right? And then also the social media aspect of it. You know, you have to create an opportunity for people to discover you, and there's a lot of, you know, different things around it. So that boils down sort of what I do now. I'm an online business consultant for independent artists, and I'm also a reality TV music coach. So I actually coach artists who want to go on reality singing shows. I always let people know that reality singing shows are not for everyone, and I view it as just an extension of a whole other platform. So it's essentially another platform for you to get your music heard, to get your message heard, and for you to make a music impact just in a different way. So, you know, when people have their opinions about American Idol or The Voice, you know, I listen to them all because I'm on both sides. I agree with it all. However, there's no denying that if you can get a million new ears and eyes on your music, your message, and, you know, your artistry, then it could be a really great way for you to build your fan base and your impact. So that kind of boils that down for me. Tonight, I wanted to get an idea from you guys. You know, I was going to touch on a few things and then open it up to some question and answer from you guys, because I want this to be something that is effective for you guys, valuable for you. I want you to be able to walk away from this feeling like, okay, I want you to feel energized, like I'm going to go slay my day tomorrow. I want you to like have an action item or something that you can do that's going to like help you in your career, like a tangible something that's actually going to support you. And I want to just create an opportunity to have a dialogue that will support you guys, because your needs as songwriters are similar, but they're different as well from the needs of, you know, artists that I work with. And I'm just open to talking about it all. However, I can best support this group. So does that sound good? Can I get like thumbs up? Are y'all tracking with me? You know, what in the chat? I love it, Gigi. Yep, we got hands in the air. Cool. Okay, so let's just real quick, let's quickly just talk about creating clarity in your artist business and like of having an effective plan, like identifying, okay, what are the priorities? I think it's really easy to get hung up on all the things happening and we get distracted, right? So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I wake up and I'm like, what am I doing today? You know, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be overachievers every single day. I'm not suggesting that. But if we look short term, even just the next 3 months, for the next 3 months, what would we like to accomplish? Right? So for the next 3 months, what do you want to see happen in your music career, right? As a songwriter or as a performer? Maybe you have never performed on an open mic, right? Maybe it's time to sorry, I'm just looking at all the chats here. Is everybody okay? Maybe it's time to challenge yourself to get on an open mic. So in 3 months, maybe, you know, the goal for you is, what is my plan of action so that at the end of this 3 months, I'm actually going to be at the open mic at Love and War or virtually or wherever, right? So everyone has different priorities. And I just wanted to quickly walk you through my way, my favorite way to identify what the real priorities are. And I call it the clarity brain dump. And I'm sure all of you are very familiar with what a brain dump is. It's not something that I invented, but ultimately what I do is I'm a colors girl. I get all my little markers out and I get a big piece of paper. And by the way, this is actually how I wrote both of my books as well. So for my books, I basically wrote down the idea or the concept, and you guys could use this for new songs too. If you're wanting, like, let's say you know, whatever your genius hours are, it's midnight, you wake up and go, oh my God, I got a song idea, right? And you want to start brainstorming it or whatnot. You could use this as a different way to kind of pull out some ideas. And you could put maybe the concept of the song in the middle of the paper. And then I always set my timer for 10 minutes and I just free flow, no judgment on the piece of paper. And I just start dropping words, colors, ideas. I even will put people, like, whose support do I need to make this project happen? And all of those things. Give me 2 seconds. We have barking dogs right now. So I'm like, okay, so brain dump. And then you're going to, like I said, I like to set the timer because you don't need to completely dump everything. This should not take you hours. Now you might start a brain dump and then revisit it. So sometimes for my book, for example, I would do the main thing, and the book was a little longer than 10 minutes, but I do the main thing and then I'd revisit it the next day. And then every time I'd walk past, I'd be like, oh, wait, I got an idea. And I'd go add something. But for a song, you might be writing something down, like I said, colors or, you know, concepts or even stories, like stories that you want to tell through this song, things like that. So it's just a different way to maybe construct your song, or at least construct the ideas that you want to communicate, right? The message. And if we want to be using this brain dump in a fashion for planning and for goals, let's just pretend, you know, that your goal is to, well, it doesn't really matter. You don't highlight what your goal is. You don't put your goal in the middle. You literally just think, I actually will section off the paper sometimes. I'll think like one corner is personal, one corner is creative, as like creative, like projects or songwriting. One corner can be like self-development or like exercise, eating well, those types of things. Okay. Personal or self-care. And then the other would be like business. You know, what type of goals do I have for my business? So if you need a framework to identify what your priorities are, then that type of framework is great, because it takes the whole person into account, right? Like a really holistic view. that's very realistic, because our lives are not just music, or our lives are not just business. You know, we have homes to run, or we have children, or we have work, whatever, our jobs, whatever that might be. So if you needed framework, then you can quarter off your page, you know, 8.5 by 11 page. And in one corner, focus on self-care. On another corner, focus on music business, maybe. On another one, creative projects, anything songwriting or anything creative. And like I said, that last piece would be maybe home, or, you know, things like that in your kind of realm that you like, your day to day. And so when you set that timer, that's when you can just start dropping all of the ideas. So you're going to be, that's when you can be dropping all of the ideas, and you don't necessarily have to go to the quarters and say, okay, now I'm going to brain dump about home, you know, but you just need to like allow yourself to put pen to paper and free flow in a way that will, I always say, reveal what the priorities are. When that 10 minutes is up, you look at the paper and you might see things that are in common. You might see commonalities like sprinkled throughout, and you want to highlight those commonalities. Like if you see songwriting, or like a specific song idea, if you see something really specific 3 different times, that's a clear indication that that's going to be a priority of yours. Okay. So you want to circle those, anything that's popping up multiple times in different ways. And you might link, you know, oh, that kind of goes with that, or that goes with that. But the whole purpose of the brain dump is to identify, oh, I see what you're saying. I'll move my collar a little bit here. Is to identify what your priorities are. Is that any better? Thumbs up, maybe. Oh, good. I'm sorry, guys. So that's the idea of the brain dump. When you look down at the paper, you're going to circle 3 things, or you're going to highlight 3 things that stand out as the priority. And this is the priority that you want to create a plan around. This is the priority that you want to knock out in the next 3 months. So that's one way of creating a plan for yourself, so that down the road, you know, you're not, it's like the whole idea, like between now and the end of the year. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, this has been like, this year has not looked like what any of us wanted this. I mean, well, maybe for some of you, but for me, this year has been really wild. And I mean, I didn't even think I was going to write a book. So I actually have COVID to thank for that, because I actually had time to write a book. So that was cool. But, you know, this year did not look like what I planned for in January. So now I look at the circumstances and I say, okay, between now and the end of the year, what do I want to look at back and like decide, okay, I want to focus on this for the next few months. Maybe for me, it's, I need to slow down because I just like busted my hump putting a book out. Maybe I need to like just focus on chilling out and being present with my kids for 3 months. Like, I don't know. I have to figure that out for myself. But, you know, everyone is different. And this is simply a way to identify your priorities. So when you do this, I call it the clarity brain dump. When you do this brain dump, you want to look for the things that really pop out after that 10 minutes of brainstorming. And then you want to take those 3 things and create a plan to actually get it done. So, for example, if one of your priorities is, I want to be featured on an open mic night, or I want to write 5 songs. Like, I want to finish and write 5 songs, or I want to actually get some of these songs produced, you know, like get some really good, strong, you know, production elements done for them. Then that's when you have to start bringing in, okay, whose help do I need? What do I want the overall outcome of this? What do I need to do to get this done? Okay, so you got to organize your life around it. You have to say no to some other things, maybe because you have to eliminate distractions. You might have to say no to some opportunities, because if you were to say yes, it might take you away from your biggest priority. And you have to take action. You have to actually execute. You don't take action, this ain't getting done, right? So that's the biggest thing. It's like, we can all think in our heads, oh, wouldn't it be nice to get this done by November or December, right? And we think about it, that would be great. Some of us actually believe that that's nice and all, but that's impossible. So that's kind of a mindset thing that you need to tackle. But if you create a plan to take action, and obviously there are things out of our control, like COVID, for example. But if you create a plan of action, you can at least know and have the confidence of knowing that you're taking action towards making stuff happen for yourself. So that would be my first recommendation for, creating just some like momentum for yourself and being extremely intentional and strategic with how you're moving forward through the end of this year. Can I ask if that was helpful at all for you guys? Did that give you any ideas or any new sort of creative, even like associating the brain dump with the with songwriting too? I mean, like I said, I do that for my book, so I don't know if that's not going to work for everyone.
Yeah, in fact, we sometimes have a meeting where the meeting is to get together is in different groups and come up with some songs pretty quickly. And the way we start off is everybody comes up with just an idea in their head and we write it on the board, and pretty soon we got 15 or 20 different ideas, and we wind up making songs out of these ideas. So that's exactly what you're talking about.
Great. It's like you're connecting those dots.
Very effective tool to just free flow, think, and write things down, and then try to connect those dots and make a song out of it, or a book, or whatever you're doing.
I'd like to add just one thing to that, where you're talking about an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and this goes back to my programming business and so on. For me, it's a whiteboard. I go stand at the whiteboard and I basically start with a blank whiteboard and I try to fill it up. And sometimes I will just draw a cross on it, and it's different sections for different things. And it's like in programming, my other career, I had a saying, and I was known, I would aggravate my employees with it, because what I would tell them is, you want to start programming right now, and you haven't figured out what it is that you want to program. But the sooner you sit down at that keyboard, the longer you're going to be there. And so by spending more time planning and to bring it to songwriting, I would do that same thing with songwriting. And I might take an idea, and then I might take that idea to the whiteboard and come up with all sorts of things where I'm developing the story around it. And
absolutely.
Personally, I invariably write music first and then lyrics afterwards. And so, I have to fit it in rhythmically, but I'm never going to be able to fit it in rhythmically if I don't have a plot, if I don't say first verse is going to tell this part of the story and so on. So I try to assemble it that way. And usually if I do that, and I do that well, the lyrics themselves and the syllables and the counts and everything kind of take care of themselves.
Absolutely.
There.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. No, it's great. When I wrote my book, Rick, I'll take your question in just a second. When I wrote my book, it definitely wasn't an 8.5 by 11. I'm pointing behind me because behind me is my garage. I took over my husband's man cave, and I literally, put butcher paper over, I taped up butcher paper on the wall and took over the whole wall and just went crazy on it. And to him, he was thinking, do you guys remember that movie, A Beautiful Mind? It's like all these like connections and circles and all the things. Yeah. Wayne's like, it's me, I'm a beautiful mind. So, that's what it looked like. So of course my husband, who, he's creative in his own way, but he doesn't fully understand my creative brain. He thinks, well, he appreciates my creative brain, but he was like, wow, my wife has lost it again. Right. So that's pretty funny. Rick, you had a question or a comment?
Well, yeah. Can't hear me, can you?
Oh no, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I sure can. I can hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, a couple of things. One is I find that, as far as writing music, which, I've been writing songs, if you will. I almost consider them sometimes more poetry than anything, but it depends on how you want to structure it. But what I found is that a lot of times when you start an idea, you have to put it down and let it go. Just toss it to the side for a while until maybe you look at it again a day or a week or a month later and you say, oh, I kind of see where I was going with this, but I didn't see it at the moment. The other thing is I went to a songwriters workshop my first time in 2016, I think it was, with Terry Hendricks and Lloyd Maines down in Port Aransas, and that was very interesting to go through, especially when they had us sit down and try and corroborate with a group of people, like 4 or 5 people, to write a song. You find that gets really interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That must have been a neat experience.
Oh, they're great people.
Yeah, that's really cool. Terrific. Okay,
go
ahead.
I was just going to say there was another songwriter organization that I've done meetings with, and what you're describing was the very same thing that Amanda was describing, which is called mind mapping.
Yes.
And in the center of the page, you put your song idea, your subject of the song, or whatever it is, and then we had an exercise at a songwriting workshop where we used this technique, and we were given 2 hours.
Oh my goodness!
We were put in groups. There was 3 in my group, and we had to come up with a subject, lyrics, music, melody, in 2 hours. That was it. That's all we had was 2 hours.
That's a great challenge.
We wrote a great song out of that. So it's exactly what you're kind of talking about.
So let me ask you something. You did that exercise at this retreat or workshop. Have you done it again since? Like, is it something that you repeated because you saw the success that you had taking that different approach?
I haven't for myself. Writing by myself, no. When I'm writing with other people, we kind of do that in a way, but not specifically that way.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yes and no, but mostly no. Although it was very successful how we did that. It was actually very successful.
That's great. So. That's really neat. I love hearing that. It's great. So there's a couple of things as we move forward. Again, I want to speak on things that are going to be most helpful to you. So one of the things Jessica and I talked about was, online business strategies, for songwriters or just for artists in general, for creatives. Are there areas for you, and you can just type in the chat. Does everyone hopefully have access to the chat? If there's areas for you that you struggle in, like maybe either type in social media or marketing, or do you have email lists or, things? I definitely want to speak to what's going to be most helpful to you all. And like, this would be more in the online business stuff, like as far as promoting, your music, or, are you interested in trying to get music in film and television? I do have, before, I leave you guys, I do want to share with you a training that is happening for sync and music licensing for any of you who are interested in that. It's a free training happening in the next few weeks with Michelle Weiss-Maslin. She and I are throwing that together. So I think that might be something that the group might appreciate. But I definitely want to, I see social media options and social media to promote my music. I can definitely speak to that and support you guys in that way a little bit. Can I get maybe a thumbs up if branding? Okay, I see branding. Yeah, we can hit on some of that for sure. Copywriting, legality. Yeah. Okay. So why don't we just dive into some social media talk for a second, and branding, marketing, and then we can take some questions. Does that sound good? Yes. All right, cool. Y'all are tracking with me. Cool. Okay. So let's start with social media. I am not one to say or think that you need to be on every single social media platform. I think you should be on the main ones if possible, but you should really just be where, your fans are, or where those who you're trying to get your music out to. Like if you're using your social media account to attract awareness for you as an artist and a songwriter, for you to attract awareness for your actual music or your songs, then you need to be thinking of, okay, where are those people, or the people I'm trying to attract, where are they hanging out? Are they hanging out on Twitter? Are they hanging out on Facebook? Are they hanging out on Instagram? Where are they hanging out? Most likely they're hanging out on either Facebook or Instagram, because those are the top two. They're owned by Facebook anyway, both of them. But Twitter is a different type of social media platform, and a lot of people have Twitter accounts, but it is used in a different way than Facebook and Instagram. The one thing I will, and this kind of goes along the lines of like branding and marketing, the one thing I will say is when you have a Facebook or Instagram account, make sure it is a business account. So if we start with Facebook, okay? So you have your personal Facebook page, your personal Facebook account, and then you just create like a sub page, right? So a page, which is your business page, okay? So, Wayne Willingham Music, or whatever your business name is, or whatever that might be. So you have a business page that you can have your website address on and all of that stuff. And it's geared, those posts on that page are going to be geared primarily towards promoting your music and promoting what you do as a artist business. I encourage people to use the same photos. So if you have an Instagram account and a Facebook account, you need to have what I call brand continuity between the two accounts. So your business name on Facebook, for me, it's Brianna Rellis Music. I'm also on Instagram as same name, Brianna Rellis Music. Those are my business accounts. I'm using the same exact picture on both accounts. I want there to be no confusion. This is the same person. So brand continuity is very important. The description, you have a little bit more leeway in Facebook to do a bit more, right? On Instagram, you have like this tiny little like rectangle of information you can put in there. But on Facebook, you can do a full bio and about, you can do an entire story. There's all this really great stuff that you can do in Facebook. So whatever it is, make sure that there's consistency across the platforms between Instagram and Facebook, or whatever social media. If you're on YouTube, for example, it's the same thing. YouTube would be a great place for you to be sharing your music, and you get 1,000 subscribers, you can actually start monetizing it. So if you're a YouTube person and you think that people can discover, and by the way, they'll discover you on YouTube when you tell them that you're on YouTube, right? So it's up to you to get people there, right? To tell them to go subscribe to your YouTube channel. You want to make sure, again, same picture, same name, same description, same about, okay? So creating brand continuity is going to be really important. For social media, again, content creation and consistency is also very important. So could I get an example? Type in the chat what you use social media for mostly. So the biggest purpose for you in using social media might be networking. It might be sharing music. If you could type in the chat for you, and some of you may just have a personal page and you connect with friends and family on it, and you don't even have a business page, and that's okay too. But I would like to know from you guys what you use social media for most. Announcing gigs and music releases, good. Wayne, I see your question. I'll get to that in the end. Gigs, okay. So promoting gigs, promoting virtuals, promoting all the things, promoting new songs. Okay. All right. So video and lyric video and streaming credit, that's cool. Okay, so here's the thing. When you have gigs and music releases, hopefully you have a plan in place, especially if it's a music release. hopefully you have a really clear plan in place, a promotion plan in place, building up to the music release. If you don't, I highly recommend that you put one in place. Okay. So it could literally be, depending on the type of release that it is, it could be a 2-week, social media build up. It could be a 4-week. I don't necessarily recommend beyond that because it's sort of like out of sight, out of mind, but at least 4 weeks. Gigi also says posting my behind the song series. Oh, I love that. That is so engaging. Once a month on YouTube. Cool. Okay. So Gigi, can you tell me if you're on Facebook and Instagram or just Facebook or?
I'm on Facebook and I have an artist page.
Okay.
I actually have an Instagram, but to be honest with you, I really don't even understand how to use it.
Yeah, that's okay. No, like you can stick to Facebook and YouTube.
And
that's great. So
I started Facebook initially just as everybody had a Facebook page, and then somebody was telling me to do a website, and then there was like, why do a website when you can have a Facebook artist page? So I did the artist page, but I'm not consistent, as you say.
Yeah.
Content creation and consistency. I'm not, real consistent with that, but that's how I started. And then I started this once a month YouTube thing, but we can talk about that later.
Cool. That's awesome. Okay. No, great. That's terrific insight for me. And that helps me in guiding the conversation a little bit. So I'm just going to speak to these things, right? So once a month, there's a behind the song series. Once a month, there might be a gig you're promoting. Once every couple of months, there might be a music release or whatever it is. If you're only posting on social media for those things, it's going to be hard for a lot of people to see, right? Because it's like kind of a few and far between posts. And it's like, hey, look, I'm gigging, or, so it's important if you want to create engagement and for people to, they need to expect to hear from you more. So creating a consistency, you really want to shoot to post on social media, at least twice a week. I would say twice a week minimum. If that's unrealistic to you, then post once a week. Whatever it is for you that's sustainable and realistic, commit to it and create a plan. So I'm going to give you a really easy way to start. Identify, because you also want to be promoting or talking about things on your artist account other than, hey, I'm gigging, or hey, get my new song, or hey, you actually want to be creating like authentic conversations and engagement. So when you're posting, think beyond what else can I talk about? And this goes to you. If we want to talk, we talked about marketing. People are, struggling with marketing. Well, marketing and social media, like they go hand in hand. So this comes back to you deciding, well, what do I want to talk about? And you've probably already answered this question because you're writing music and you're wanting to communicate something through your music, right? Some sort of message, either story or some sort of something that means, is important to you. So you have to definitely decide what you value, what you're comfortable sharing on social media, and how you want to communicate with people, and how you want them to, feel when they hear your music, and also just when they're working with you, right? So if you are looking at your social media, I'll give you an example. For me, I kind of boil it down to 5 social media pillars. And I'll be honest, I have them all written down. I don't know if I can come up with them right now, but I know for a fact that one of them is, I love inspiring and encouraging. Like I always say, like, I'm going to light a fire under you to get going. Let's go. I love coaching on reality TV music. I love teaching online business strategies for independent artists and creatives. And what else do I love? Quirky. There's always one that's kind of quirky. Like I love Trader Joe's and, Justin Timberlake. Like it's just kind of like, or even The Bachelor, like really, really bad, The Bachelor, right? So one quirky pillar. And then my last pillar is, talking about, I don't even remember, but there's one more. So there's 5. And then what I do is, if we want to talk about brainstorming, content creation, like brainstorming content, set aside one Sunday or pick a day that you have a few hours or an hour sit down, figure out what those 5 pillars are for you. Like, for example, one of my artists that I work with, he's like loves his dog. So like that's his one kind of quirky pillar. Like he's a dog dad. So you're going to see dog pictures sprinkled through his Instagram feed and his Facebook feed because he loves dogs, right? So for you, it might be, you know, tacos. I don't know, could whatever it is. I don't know. So what you would do is you have those 5 topics, and that just serves as a framework. So when you're posting, like yours might be, you know, obviously songwriting, that's important to you, whatever the quirky one is. Maybe there's a social thing that you feel really compelled. Like I have an artist who's really into mental health. Like, so she really likes to talk about the importance of supporting mental health and things like that. Everyone's different in terms of like causes that they support or whatnot. And when you're sitting down, there's just a few questions you can think about. Okay, what's 5 ideas around this one pillar? You know, what are 5 things that I can talk about around this one pillar, but do that for each one. So in an hour, you could ideally come up with 5 or 25 different posts. So you could come up with 25 different post ideas within an hour that you can always either plan out, or you can go to the drawing table and you can pull from. So if you're like, oh, shoot, I was really wanting to post twice this week. What do I post today? Oh, wait, I just spent an hour brainstorming 25 content ideas. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to pull from that. Right. So it's just a way to brainstorm content in one batch. So you're batching it. But secondly, it's a way to create consistency, not only consistent posting, but consistency in your message, consistency in the message you're delivering. So, you know, you're not just, my friend Megan Kuhar, she has this incredible product called the Content Alignment Toolkit. But Megan always talks about panic posting. And she talks about you have to stop panic posting. She has a great podcast. And she talks about the importance of avoiding panic posting. So when you do a little plan or a little pre-work, you can avoid panic posting and you can create some consistency inside your social media feeds. Is that helpful? Can I get a raise your hand? Was that okay? Cool. Great. Terrific. Yeah. Consistency is so important. And so again, and then that will also give you material that's something other than, hey, come to my gig, or hey, buy my music, or, you know, it's actually, it's interesting stuff that people would want to talk about with you or get engaged on. Right. And hopefully when people are commenting on your post, always comment back. That's another way to increase engagement. And therefore more people will see your post. So keep that in mind as well. Terrific. Okay. So, and let me just kind of go through this as well. Okay. Yeah. So those would be my biggest tips for, you know, social media, is to create consistency and give yourself a content, you know, a content plan so that your messaging is consistent as well. It's not just about posting consistently, it's about consistent messaging as well. Okay, so what I'd love to do now, my dogs are going crazy, guys. I'm so sorry. What I'd love to do now is actually open up. Oh, here, Michael Roth says, I need a personality. Where are you, Michael? You're funny. Just, aren't you drinking wine? That could loosen you up a little bit. Love that. Okay, so what do you feel like? You have a sync license question. Oh, Seth, I'm not a sync expert. Michelle is. But you can, I've taken her classes, so you could certainly ask it. And if I can't tell you, then I'll send you to this. This is what I will do right now though. Harry, is it okay if I share the free music licensing training that's happening? There's going to be a Q&A online and then also an actual training at the end of the month. Is it okay if I share the Facebook link to the Q&A on Facebook next week?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the chat, I'm going to throw this link in here, and it's literally going to be live on Instagram. I'm sorry, live on Facebook. This is the actual Facebook link, and that's the information. It's next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central, and the link there will take you directly to the live. So you just need to tune in to that link at 2 p.m. Central on Wednesday, September 9th, and you'll be able to watch it right there. And it's going to be a full Q&A from sync and music licensing. Michelle has literally placed 5,000 songs and has over 5,000 sync placements. And Jessica, I know you had a chance to meet her and listen to her. She's fascinating. I will tell you this right now. She is no nonsense. She cares. She has a huge heart, but she lives in LA, but she kind of has that New York, thing going on where she just says it like it is. And I love that about her.
Okay. I have a question.
Okay.
How do I get on reality TV?
Woohoo! What show are you talking about?
Anyone.
Okay, cool.
So what are the tips?
So what I would do, first of all, is you need to first identify what you qualify for. So for example, you can't go on American Idol because the age cutoff on American Idol is, I believe, 28 years old. So that's not going to work for you. However,
yeah, you could lie.
you could lie. However, something like The Voice or America's Got Talent doesn't typically have an age cutoff. The other tip would be go to those websites and see, because I know for a fact, a lot of them are doing virtual auditions, obviously, right now. And so you can go to those websites. They all have casting sites, and click the link, and you can either be notified when they're casting and when to submit a video, or you can, it'll take you straight to how to submit. Usually, because I think The Voice is casting right now. So you could just start by going to those websites.
So what are the tips on getting started? What do you do?
Yeah. So that's why I say that's the starting point. You first got to figure out what the opportunities are, and you have to figure out what you qualify for, right? So the second thing that's really important is that you got to be the package. So we all know that these reality shows are not just about your singing voice. They're about your personality. So Michael, you're going to have to pop up that personality a little bit. So it's about your personality. It's about your talent, and it's about your story. Those are the three things that are going to make a complete package when it comes to these reality shows. So I literally my book that it just launched last week, by the way, it launched to a bestseller status on Amazon. So yeah, so excited about that. In fact, I was going to pop the link to it's an ebook right now, and it will be paperback next month. So it's called Make Reality TV Your Reality, and it's about how to crush your reality singing show audition. So Michael, you want to know the steps, just buy my book, and you're
I'm gonna buy the book, huh?
Buy the book.
Get some free advice here.
Oh no, I'm giving it to you. You're getting it, but I'm just saying I can only tell you so much in the next minute, right?
Okay.
So if you go to my ebook, you'll be able to see it all, but it starts with understanding that you have to get your ducks in a row if you're going to be able to stand out amongst all the people that are auditioning, especially now with virtual auditions. Okay. So you want to make sure that you have a very clear, concise, and compelling story. You want to make sure that you're choosing the right song. You want to choose a song that's relevant to today's music landscape. And I highly recommend up-tempo. Now, if you want to audition with an original song, which some people have success with, that make sure it's a hit. Okay. Make sure for a fact that it's going to get attention. It's going to be catchy. It's going to be a hit. Because there are people who have made it on these shows auditioning with original material. It has happened. It's risky, but it has happened. I always recommend that people have at least 4 to 5 songs in your back pocket that you can pull on that are going to really position you with like a solid audition. So make sure you're choosing songs that are, if ballads are your thing, make sure you have at least a few up tempo songs in there, because most likely they're going to want that. We have to be thinking, you're entertaining them. This is an entertainment television show, right? So song choice is critical. Having a really solid, compelling story is very important, and showing off your personality. They're casting you're becoming a cast member. You're literally becoming a character on their show. They're not telling you to be someone you're not. You must be exactly who you are. But ultimately, you have to fit inside their show, and you have to tell them, like, you got to show them very clearly where you belong, where you fit inside their mold. So that gets you a little bit started. And again, if you really want to dive deep,
I'm on my way.
Yeah, if you want to dive deep, go get my book on Amazon. Awesome. So Harry, I think we're out of time, but if we want to maybe take one more question, I can make it quick.
Anybody else?
Awesome. Was this helpful to you guys?
I had a question.
Yes.
I couldn't find the mute thing.
Same
So
here.
you do.
Okay.
Okay. I was just going to ask. So you do like private consultations?
I do. So I do online strategy business support for independent artists. I do strategy consults as well. And they're typically 60 minutes. And my website is briannarellismusic.com. And the information, if you want to book a strategy call, I believe is on the Work with Brianna page or something like that. So you can peruse. I'll type my website in here as well. Brianna Relas, RUELAS, music.com. And you guys can follow me if you're on Instagram or Facebook. You can follow me at Brianna Relas Music. But yeah, you can find me there, and there's a contact form too. So if you have any questions, after this that we didn't get to, please feel free to email me or submit through the contact form. My email address is info@briannarelismusic.com. So you can also email me, and we can, if you want to sit down and strategize anything, then happy to schedule a session.
Very good.
Wayne, thank you so much, Seth. Thank you. Wayne, did you have a question real quick?
Well, yeah, it was what I posted there. But basically what it comes down to is I had, for the last year and a half, I had started making real headway and getting myself
booked and all that.
Published, and then bang, everything falls to pieces. And here I am with a fourth album in the works, and I was selling it and promoting it all over the country, and now I can go all over my house.
Yep. I know, that's tough, right? So this is why it's important, Wayne, that you're connected virtually on social media platforms. And I know that that's a real bummer, no doubt about it. Unfortunately, I think a lot of small venues are going to be having a really hard time coming back as well. So there's that as well, because even when they allow us to start traveling and gigging and doing all that again, we also have the problem where a lot of these small venues aren't going to survive. So this is, in my opinion, this is not a problem that's going to be solved quickly. And it's going to be important that you get creative and shift trajectory a little bit and utilize the online platforms that are available. Now, if you have an email list, or if you, I hope that when you were gigging at all these places that you were collecting emails.
Yeah.
If you do, then you can create online virtual events that you can charge for and send this information, create a consistent plan for your email list, and send them the information and say, hey, I am so excited to bring you my fourth album. You supported me at this, here, or, it's a bummer I can't be touring, but I definitely want to keep bringing you new music. So please, check this out and tune in. You can get your ticket here, and then thank them. Thank them for being a part of your music journey, and thank them for coming along for the ride, and ask them to come hang out with you again. So those are just a few suggestions. I know this isn't easy, and And look, everything's very uncertain right now. So yeah. Thank you, Harry. I appreciate that. Guys, thank you for being so kind and welcoming. And I hope this was helpful to you. I'm happy to come back anytime, Jessica and Harry. So you guys holler at me. I love supporting you guys. And yeah, if you guys need any further support, just find me at briannarellismusic.com, or again, you can always email me. So
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Thank you.
Loved it. Yay, look at all
Good.
the claps. So we're going to have some songs now, Harry?
Yes, I think we got 7 songs.
Okay. Well, maybe Brianna can help us out for a little while, and we got Joe here, our resident expert.
I'm going to share the screen.
Thank you, Michael. It's the nicest thing you ever said to me, bud.
Well, you are.
Are y'all ready?
Oh, there's those cars again.
They don't get any newer.
It's like we're in a dream, man. It just keeps recycling.
Hey, I grew up with those cars. I tell you what.
All right.
I love that Ford.
I think my parents' car is the one you can just barely see it over there. It was a 49 Chevrolet Coupe.
All right.
Three speed. You know, the gears on the column.
That's before it was a stock car.
Yeah. Okay. Brianna, are you going to help us out on this? And Joe's going to critique, and I will play the songs and show the lyrics what I've got, and then
yeah.
And then we'll go.
So I won't be able to stay the whole time, but I can definitely stay for at least the first several.
Well, we appreciate any time you can give us. Yes.
No, I'm excited.
Okay, now, if y'all can see all this, I'm gonna go over here to my. Okay, we've got. Okay, they're in alphabetical order because that's the way the computer did them. So we'll just start at the top and go down. Y'all want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, now, Seth, did you have any lyrics at all? Can you hear me, Seth?
All right, I forget the little mute thing. Yeah, I thought I sent you some. I mean, I don't know if
let's see. Maybe I got him. Let's see here. I don't see him. I've got 3 songs for you.
Right.
Wait a minute. There's a lyric right there. Okay, On Relief. And then I've got 2. Oh well.
I sent mine by Gmail, Harry. Did you not get it?
When did you send it?
At the meeting.
Oh,
during
well,
the meeting.
I haven't. I have to go look at that. We'll go catch it. I'll tell you what. Let's
kick off the tune and do it the old-fashioned.
Amen. That's right. The old-fashioned way.
You know, when you go to
Here comes American Dream. We'll find the lyrics somewhere. If we don't, we'll just listen to it. Hang on. Come on, guys. Here we go. Can y'all hear it?
Around the railings for a glimpse of New York streets. Garlic, spice, and diesel smells spread through all rustling feet. And all my fellow passengers, they seem to look just like me. Clarity, it's America. you see. They came in by the boatload from all around the world, from tyrants' persecution to freedom's hope unfurled. Hungarians and Chinese folks, Italians, Greeks, and Jews. Of all the world, it's America they choose. Get on board, get on board, get on board. American dream. And now they come from southern lands, escaping death and crime. Like our relatives before them, they arrive without a dime. So let's extend our arms to them and help them on their climb. Tell Aura S, it's still America's time. Get on board, get on board, get on board. The American dream.
There we go.
Yeah. Any kind or unkind comments? I know the mandolin sounded a little tinny, but
Was that yours?
yeah, it's on me.
Oh, I got a comment.
Shoot.
I'm supposed to critique it. What I say, we'd clean up the recordings just a little bit. I would do 10 songs like that and put them out. There's a market out there for just exactly what you're doing. It's an eclectic market, could be jazz, could be, but you could get it on local stations in a minute. That.
Cool, thank you.
Local stations, you get people calling you saying, I want to hear your stuff. Do a bunch more like that. I would clean it up a bit, but that's just because
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
But I mean, what the hell, man? I really wouldn't change a thing. I just go out there and do a bunch of that. And there's a bunch of people out there that like that, and they're going to love you. And that's a good thing.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
Appreciate it. Well, that will inspire me to get to work on doing something about the damn mandolin. I love to play mandolin, but I don't record it well.
The mandolin is, for me, that was really different. It was really original. Don't know how much I really liked it. When I heard that, I'm going, this guy's just going for it, man. Got a sound. You don't sound like anybody else.
I was trying to get some of that, the mandolin sound of the New York City and the Italian folks and all that sort of sound.
I would keep one thing in mind about that. You might gain a few people with that, but you might lose a market or two with that also. I liked it for that tune. If I heard 5 of them, it might be not for me. But you might lose more than you gain with that. But if you love it, do it. Whatever makes you happy.
Thank you. Thank you.
You might consider going with that motif, but maybe with different settings. That one's New York. You might do one for San Francisco or
cool.
in Texas and things like that. I was going to mention one thing that it's, and this is my own little thing. I got admonished about this once, and that's I don't remember the exact words, but you use the word smell.
Garlic smells, diesel smells, yeah.
And using the word smell, some people are put off by it when at the same time it could be a whiff of diesel smell.
Okay, nice, good idea.
You know what I mean?
Because I want that rawness of that smell with the immigrants and all that stuff.
Yeah, but you can let diesel be the rawness of it and use something more genteel.
Okay, cool.
And again, it's your song.
No, I appreciate it. No, good thought.
The wafting in the air.
Yeah, right.
Or an air.
Diesel does not waft.
It hits you.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, I mean, I grew up in an Italian house, and I just opened the door and walk in, and no one had to say, "Do you smell the garlic?" The garlic just hit you, right? So the garlic is the smell. So you almost don't even need the word smell.
Cool. Okay, nice. Well done. Thank you.
While I'm chatting, I would just say I did love the imagery. I definitely saw pictures, and that was really nice. I felt, just to clarify, the get on board, right? Is it get on board?
Yes.
That was it?
Yes.
Okay, so, and it was, do you consider that the chorus, or?
That's essentially the chorus or hook, yeah.
Hook, yeah. So after the last hook, chorus, whatever, get on board, whatever, American Dream, there was that kind of instrumental section where the piano and the mandolin, like all the things were kind of layered on top of each other. And can I use the word cacophony in a
I agree with you. I heard that too. Yeah.
It was a little overwhelming.
Yeah, I agree.
I was kind of like, whoa, what's happening? So I would just, if you're talking about cleaning it up,
yes,
focus in on that section a little bit, because it's a really cool song. And the minute you open your voice, I love the fact that your speaking voice and your singing voice are like so synonymous, like just so terrific. And I would just say that one section, there was so much happening that it almost lost me for a second. And I want to stay on the ride with you.
Understood. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
I want to say one other thing too. The instrumental beginning was a little bit too long.
I agree.
Probably shorten that.
I agree, because what I want to do is state the theme, but what I do is I end up going too long, which is, as you will get to know me, that's true in person too.
Okay, are we ready for the next song?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got 7. We got to get done. I might have to go too.
You got to go. Okay.
Yeah, you can skip over mine to make sure everybody else gets their stuff in.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just called up Alexis on email. Let's go ahead and do hers here. Let me get
You're
this,
called up, Alexis.
Hey.
I called her up.
Go to war, baby. They called you up.
If I can get this in
First call.
on the screen. Okay, y'all see the lyric?
Yep.
I'll kind of scroll it up as we go. I'll try. I'm not very good at this, but I'm learning. Okay, here's the song. Y'all ready?
The rain keeps falling, the winds howl and blow. I pray to stay strong as I'm tossed to and fro. Your mighty storm rages, but God, we both know I must keep the faith as onward I go. But God, where's that land and the sun on my face? When will the clouds part? When will you stop the rain? It's so hard to keep smiling, wave after wave. But I'll ride with you, Lord, till there's sun on my face. Each raging blow, I know you're in control. You created me, Lord. You will keep me afloat. until we reach dry land. We're stuck on this boat, but you know you'll deliver. That's what's giving me hope. But God, where's that land and the sun on my face? When will the clouds fall? When will you stop the rain? Hard to keep smiling, wave after wave, but I'll ride with you, Lord, till there's sun on my face. I come as your servant, I do as you say. I come as your servant, Lord, I do as you say. I come to you, Lord, please hear me pray. I'll rejoice for a bright, shiny day. But God, where's that land and the sun on my face? When will the clouds part? When will you stop the rain? It's so hard to keep smiling, wave after wave. But I'll ride with you, Lord, till the sun on my face. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God, where's that land and the sun on my face? When will the clouds part? When will you stop the rain? It's so hard to keep smiling, wave after wave. But I'll ride with you, Lord, till the sun on my face.
It really is over this time.
No. You fooled us first time.
that little bing in the middle was somebody messaging me on my phone as I was trying to throw it down this afternoon.
I'm hearing that in A, and I'm hearing I'm hearing A minor. I'm hearing almost like a blues groove to it.
Yeah, I tend to go that direction sometimes.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm hearing, pardon me for playing, but I was hearing something like.
Yep.
Something like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Where were you when I needed you?
Oh, played along with the whole darn thing.
Yeah, I probably could use some more changes in there, but that's what I got this afternoon.
I would say something, Alexis.
Yeah.
About the tune. Two things. I mean, producing it is one thing, but when you're doing your chorus, and then you drop down on the third line, and then maybe not on the last time, it kind of changed.
Yeah.
But you should, God, when the clouds part, it's so hard to keep smiling, way after wave, and come down on the fourth line. But I'll ride with you, Lord, till the sun on my face, because it sounds really weird. You didn't end the chorus. The sun on my face, to me, in this style that you're doing. And then at the end of the bridge, how I'll rejoice for a bright shiny day. You went, how I'll rejoice for a bright shiny day, but you're on a 5 chord, so you'd be, how I'll rejoice for a bright shiny day. So you can, put a cadence on it and put back either to your chorus or verse, whatever you want to do. But what you did is you ended the verse or on the bridge, but you're on a 5 chord, so it didn't end. It didn't move back to where it should have gone. Other than that, I love it.
Thank you. I didn't understand that last part on the bridge. You'll have to give me a.
How I'll rejoice for a bright shiny day, I believe, is the exact line you sang, which is what you sang at the end of maybe the chorus. But you're playing a 5 chord, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da, and you're going singing, how I rejoice for a bright shiny day. But you should have gone, how I rejoice for a bright shiny day, because you're on the 5 chord and you're moving back to the chorus, I guess. But you didn't. You sang the 1 chord and it didn't go anywhere. So you should listen to the chord, which is a 5 or whatever key you're in.
Yeah, I don't speak 1/5.
Pardon?
I said, I don't speak 1/5 4 3.
But I mean, you're playing this chord, da 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 da, and you're singing this, da 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 da. You're singing, how I'll rejoice for a bright shiny day over this chord, da 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 da. So it didn't do anything. You need to sing the 5, what key is it in?
A
Don't know.
minor.
A minor. So your E, you're playing an E on the end of the bridge and you're singing over an A minor. So it just you didn't get the movement out of the bridge. But
Okay.
I love it. Great words, great stuff. You can put it to the great beat he made and, you know, all that stuff, or you can just do it a cappella with whatever.
Well,
But,
it's actually part of that musical I'm working on.
All
and
right.
It's where Noah is about to break and he's up on the deck by himself talking to God.
I've seen some of that from you. I'm looking forward to seeing it when it's done, man. But anyhow, those two things, other than that, I think got a great tune.
All right.
Okay, Brianna, are you there?
Yes, I am here. Cool. So you said your name was Alexis?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, I'm Brianna. How are you?
Hi. Good. I've enjoyed your talk.
Oh, cool. So I agree in terms of, you know, the bridge, you know, we want to like drive it, right? So if you've got, you know, the second time you go to the chorus, like the chorus that leads into the bridge, it's like you have to be thinking like you're peak, like you're building, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're like, I love how you're saying like the chorus didn't resolve, right? We went back up to that, right? So you want to resolve the chorus, but you also want to like drive the song. So if you can be, you know, creating, you know, a way to like drive to the bridge, because that bridge is like, dun, and it's like build, and then that last chorus is like, but God, da da da, or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that bridge is like, you know, thinking about like that growth and that building as you move through it, and then you punch it at that last. You gotta like think about the notes and such, how you want to present that last chorus. But
Building the drama.
yeah, like that last chorus has to like smack you in the face, you know, and then you need to resolve it. Like it needs to end versus like he was saying, the sun on my face or sun on my face, or I don't know what you did, but you gotta resolve it, and the song's got to feel like it's over.
Yeah.
The ending was tough because maybe there's a break there because of something that's happening in the musical. Could you speak to that? Like that long, before the humming and all that?
Well, I was kind of giving some space for Noah's family for them to come on. They're coming out to do a choral thing.
Got it.
Behind him.
Okay.
I mean, this is all a work in progress,
Sure.
you know. So
Yeah.
I just have visions in my head, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I really dig though the vibe of it, and I definitely heard like that just soul and like just the energy there. It was really nice. So congratulations.
One
comment on your rhyming patterns. I was very impressed with it, and the fact that your lyrics were all handpicked. You didn't waste lyrics just to make a rhyme. Very impressed with your rhyming pattern and your selection of lyrics. Painted a great imagery in my mind. I was there. I could see it and feel those waves.
Thank you.
I had
one technical thing that I think you need to address is the bridge needs to be almost like a separate tune.
Yeah, I know. I had that problem.
And the bridge tune to the bridge was the exact same as the verses. So
it was, yeah.
I was going to say that
I don't know why you call it a bridge. Just call it a verse, or actually do it.
Well,
a musical bridge.
Yeah, your bridge is starting on the one chord like your verses do, and you need to change that and go somewhere else with that.
I have trouble
keep
doing
going
that.
up, like Brianna was saying. Keep going up to where your climax of the song is the beginning of that last chorus.
Okay.
If you need to put that little interlude thing in there for the people to come on stage to do whatever, I would do that. You might have a sudden, like all of a sudden you just drop off a cliff at the end of that bridge and whatever you're doing, and then do your last chorus, because once you finish that big chorus like that, you don't want to come down
back around. Yeah.
I mean, that's just.
No,
I was just going to
agree
with Michael. The beginning of the bridge needs to not be on the one chord.
Thank you. I'll try to work. I'll get some help on that.
Okay. Next song. Okay. I haven't figured out how to split the screen, folks, so I'll just do it like this next time. Okay. That's two songs. We'll go down the list here. Let me get rid of this one. We will do Another song of Seth's, Dogs Think It's Great. I don't think I've got the lyric on that one yet. Anyway, come on.
Sure, it might seem quite a disconnect to separate out this way. A pain right in the keister to stay so far away. But if we must conduct our lives on phones while trying to do our jobs, this outbreak seems to be working out for the dogs. The dogs think all of this is great. They are more than happy to isolate. You may think you have too much on your plate, but your dogs, they think everything is great. They have you where they want you. They can watch your every move, protecting you from imagined foes and keeping you in your groove. So let's appreciate this interruption from being business cogs. It's kind of nice that it's working out for the dogs. The dogs think all of this is great. They are more than happy to isolate. You may think that you got too much on your plate, but your dogs, they think all this is great. Your dogs think all of this is great.
Yeah, Gigi. My only comment on that song is woof.
Thank you. And woof to you too, sir.
I think you definitely need a howl at the end.
Okay. All right. I tried to get the great, but
Yeah, like a or something.
if I could only get my dogs to bark on cue.
Just get them to bark a lot, and then you can flip it, and then you can pick which one you want and just drop it in.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, it was so enjoyable. I just was giggling the entire time, and I agree, Jessica. That would be so great at the end of having like just a fun,
Barking.
quirky. Yeah, it's really fun. It's a great tune.
I think we've all
Congratulations.
seen the memes about how dogs are loving this and cats are just pissed.
Like,
Get out of my space.
I think
When I was young, I had a dog that I could get to bark on cue and just by biting his tail.
that's funny.
Yuck.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a great thing.
TMI.
It would be funny if you had an instrumental in the middle of that with dogs barking the tune.
Oh, God.
Like
That's,
cats on the piano.
you have to be smarter than me to do that.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna it's a fun song, it's a funny song, maybe even like from the dog's perspective, like verse 2, I get to catch the ball, he's throwing the frisbee again,
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
with the socks, his slippers, I mean, if we're taking this you know, to the dog's perspective, they think it's great. It might be
Yeah.
kind of funny to look at it from that view.
Yeah, nice.
I have a song from the dog's perspective called Human. And it's yours is funnier. Mine, it doesn't work out real well for the dog.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well,
Thank you, Brianna.
add them. Brianna, gotta go.
I gotta go, guys.
We love it.
I gotta put children to bed. I so enjoyed this
All right.
time.
Thanks,
See you on
Brianna.
Wednesday.
We enjoyed it too. Come back.
All right.
How
Thank
old
you
are
for
your
having
kids?
me.
So much.
I have a 14-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 7-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah.
They
You
sing?
got a long way to go.
And we're virtual learning right now. It's awesome.
God.
They sing?
You're
Yeah. Staying busy. Staying busy. Listen, this has been really a real treat. So thank you for having me. And y'all let me know if y'all need anything again. And I'm happy to come back anytime. I really enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brianna.
Thank you. Y'all have a great night.
Joe, did you comment on that?
You know, I didn't.
I didn't hear you. Yeah.
It was cute. It was fun. I agree with what Jessica said. You know, if you're going to go for that comedy thing, go for it all the way. Honestly, I would turn off some of those effects because on my computer, it was so bathed in echo and stuff. It was hard to hear the words.
Okay. All right.
And my dogs, personally, I think they liked it better. Even though we're home more, we tend to disrupt their
Naps.
their normalcy, and they are so freaking spoiled. You know, nobody would ever think about not walking them on any day. But, you know, we all get so self-absorbed because we're home and it's COVID that sometimes they don't get what they're used to. It's like they're going, you mean nobody's going to like walk me today because you guys are all so self-absorbed that you've got more important things to do. So that's what's going on in my house. But, you know, Sonny and Juno are just like, geez, you mean nobody is going to like step up for the dogs today? Because we're all like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do this. But it's a very cute song. But especially what Jessica said, you know, put some Howlin' Dogs in there. Go for it. Because novelty songs are the easiest thing in the world to sell. I almost sold a cowboy song. And the reason is because even though I was singing it, there was no artist involved. And it's very easy to sell novelty songs because you're not dealing with all these people that are trying to nail you as an artist.
Yeah, right.
But if you're just selling a song like that, it's incredibly a million times easier to do it, and you got to go for it all the way. And they never asked who's singing or, you know, where's your album. They just buy the song, and it's easy to get on the news.
Huh. Okay, cool.
You know, it's easy to get local news. It's easy to get people to play at dog shows. You know, all that stuff. And it's a good vehicle if you're doing it, and it's got great opportunity. You can make a shitload of money.
Randy, our friend Randy Brooks is a good testament to that.
Yeah. So, you know, go for it all the way, but, you know, turn a little that delay and stuff off because I had trouble hearing it.
You may want to get on your horse and get it produced and get it out sometime soon because we don't know how long this is going to last.
Yeah, true.
And the novelty has worn off.
For the dogs.
It's still the novel Corona.
Any more comments?
All right.
Thank you.
Do it up, Harry.
Okay, next song. Next song, we got Ron Young. Let's see, and I caught. Hang on here. I caught your smile. This is Ron Young.
Oh, Marie, Marie, I caught your smile directed at me. If I could hold you, man alive, I would be. Man alive, I would. Marie, I heard your pretty accent, dancing like a siren's call. But it was only one day, and it all went away. It all went away. Oh, Marie, Marie, I can count my time 5 decades back, and you haven't lived 4 lives of a cat. What about that? Oh, Marie, Marie, a beautiful Irish woman, we're an ocean apart, a love affair, finished before it starts, finished before it starts. Oh, Marie, Marie, I caught your smile directed at me. Oh, Marie, Marie, I caught your smile. I caught your smile. I caught your smile.
You know what the name of the song should be, don't you? Anybody?
Oh, Marie.
Jonestown.
That or Marie Marie.
There's already a song called Marie.
No, that's my Maria. But and the only thing I would do at that point is on the end of the song, instead of repeating "I caught your smile," I would be competing. I would be saying Marie Marie. I would repeat that 2 or 3 times. That's your hook. There's my 2 cents.
No, that's right. The title should be "Oh Marie," most definitely.
Okay, it could be "Oh Marie," most definitely too. But
Nah, I just meant it should be "Oh Marie." That's a good title, good hook, "Oh Marie," because you repeat it so much, and it sticks in somebody's mind. I caught your smile. Nobody would ever figure that out, unless they listen to the song the whole way through. But a good hook should be caught, pretty early on in the song.
Oh, Marie Marie is in every.
Unless it's a jazz song.
Right. Yeah.
Then all bets are off.
I'm trying to show those lyrics there in that chat thing, but I don't know if anyone can see those or not. But anyway.
Oh, we can download them.
You can download them or whatever. But anyway, I'll go if you need to see the lyrics again. I can go back and get it, and we can look at it.
I think I would push the lyric a bit, you know, when you're talking about, oh, Marie, Marie, I saw your smile directed at me, because it's following this very, you know, time, you know, it's like there's another measure and then we sing and another measure and then we sing. But I think you could change it up a little, you know, like when you're like, oh, Marie, Marie, I caught your smile directed at me. You know, push it a little bit. And if I could hold you, man alive, I would be. I would just keep pushing it forward a little bit more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's providing you're talented enough vocally. So I can get you to sing.
Yeah,
but I love the lyrics. It's good.
Well, thank you.
How about you, Joe?
Well, I appreciate what Jessica's saying about pushing it forward, but you got 5 A sections you can't push forward. There's nowhere to go. So that would be fun, but you're trying to make it into a verse, chorus, bridge song. This is a verse, 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 verse song. So you can't do that, what you're saying. And the only really 5 verse songs, A songs, to me are story songs like Chris Christopherson, you know, the Edmund Fitzgerald. And when I first looked at this, I was trying to look at a timeline. Was Marie like on the Titanic or something, you know? But there really wasn't a coherent story. It was just like 5 verses of stuff. So it didn't move like a story tune, like a Christopherson tune. So it kind of lost me. I mean, I just heard like 5 verses with some stuff in between, and they were all cool, but I don't really see a song here as it is right now. I would try to cut it up and make it into a more traditional song, or try to follow a better timeline story if you're going to do 5 verses. Because if I'm going to listen to 5 verses in a row, I want you to, oh, well, I was in the storm and then we were flooding, and, you know, then, or Marie, I saw if I could a man alive, if I would be, I heard your pretty accent somewhere, and then, oh, Marie, I count the time 5 decades back. So that's when I was thinking you saw her sometime, but it just didn't follow through with like any timeline for me. So I honestly think it needs work, and I would try to go more one direction of a story song, or more direction, like Jessica's saying, of a verse, chorus, bridge, and kind of change it up. But as it sits, I'm kind of torn in between, and I don't quite know where to go. That's my 2 cents.
I have one question on it, Ron, and that's where whatever, I think it was like the middle verse, the 3rd verse, where you say there at one point you say 5 decades of something, and then a couple lines later you're saying 5 lives of a cat. Now I've never heard of 5 lives of a cat. I've heard 9 lives of a cat.
It was 4 lives of a cat. So I'm saying she's not even middle-aged yet. So I'm older than her.
Okay.
That was the meaning behind that, because a cat has 9 lives and she hadn't lived 5 of them yet, or 4 of them yet, I think I said. So she's young, you know.
Okay.
That's what that meant. So
okay.
Okie dokie. We got 4 more songs. Buddy, have another comment on this? Okay.
Guys, I'm going to stay one more song, and then I've got to go too.
Good job, Ron. Get rid of this thing here.
In cars.
Don't make fun of my cars, I tell you.
I love those cars.
Everybody had Fords and Chevys back then. Okay.
One time there was a Studebaker in there somewhere.
No, it's not a Studebaker. There might be a Buick in there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, one of them looked like a Buick or an Oldsmobile.
Yeah, one of them. They all kind of start looking the same after a while. Okay, here we go. We got Rick Valenti. If every week was Friday, okay, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, let me get the lyric up here. I got that. He took a picture, I think, with his camera and sent it to me, and this is the way we figured out the best way to do it. So there's the lyric right there. I'll get it back up here.
I've often wondered if a 5-day week could be shortened to one day. Take the other 4 of them and make them go away. The only day that matters is the one that's our best friend. The one before each weekend, the one right at the end. If Friday could be all there is, 5 days reduced to one, with Saturday and Sunday next. Oh man, that would be fun. Yeah, man, that would be fun. Yeah, Friday is the day I choose, the best one of the lot. Not Monday full of weekend blues, our brains severely shot. Or Tuesday just a wasted day, not really worth the while. Still hard to feel too motivated, and harder still to smile. If Friday could be all there is, 5 days reduced to one, with Saturday and Sunday next. Oh man, that would be fun. Yeah, man, that would be fun. There's hump day, such a crazy term for Wednesday spelled so strange. Or Thursday wasting one more day, another cause for change. A 3-day week would be just fine without the other 4. Still have time to get things done that we might accomplish more. If every week was Friday, if our work week has just one day, we do our jobs with happiness, cause we have more time to play. If Friday could be all there is, 5 days reduced to one, with Saturday and Sunday next. Oh man, that would be fun. Oh man, that would be fun.
Okay.
Hey, there's a lot of reality in that song. If you're retired.
Hey, I've been retired a year. I have 6 Saturdays and a Sunday.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'll kick off a comment on this one. My first comment is this spells out well what I was trying to say about the last song. There's a timeline to it, even though it's not a story. It's sort of a story song, but you follow it from beginning to end. I loved it. I thought it was a great song, great novelty song. You know, the only thing I might do, since it's all verse, chorus, your 3-day week would be just fine without the other 4. That's a bridge. You know, lyrically, it you're summing up the whole song with that. 3-day week would be just fine without the other 4. I would do a half a verse on 5 and then go somewhere else for that, because it really is lyrically a bridge. It's not another half of a chorus or of a verse, because you're summing up. It's nothing like the rest of your verses. I thought it was really cute. You know, it was fun to listen to. Very concise. Thumbs up.
Catchy and fun.
Yep.
Good bar song.
Good story.
The drinking song.
Yeah.
I think at the end it would be fun, because you've said it would be fun so often. You know, maybe you could change it up to like a 3-day week is fun. Something, maybe just,
We're making an ending.
throw a little variety into it.
All right.
Okay.
Like
Joe,
it.
Michael?
Hey, everybody, it's past my dinner time, so I'm going to say goodnight.
What do you have?
I don't know. I have to go in there and I have to go hunt it down.
Defrost.
Nah. Well, I know it's going to be one of two things, but neither are all that exciting.
Squirrel.
Squirrel.
Ground squirrel.
So you know the biggest authority on wild game cooking. She's all on every cooking channel. And somebody asked her, "What's your favorite game to eat?" And she said, "Well, I like squirrels." And a lot of people went, "Oh my God, this is like a 5-star chef." Well, what do you mean? How can that be? And she said, "Well, what do squirrels eat?"
Nuts.
They eat nuts. And she said their squirrel meat is like the nutsest, most healthy, like, you know. Anyhow, that's what she
Who
said.
would have known?
You know, I haven't gone there yet, but I'm
they're rats.
I might as well just hang out here because I've now lost my appetite.
Listening to the last part of the meeting.
Being a bachelor, I'm faced with that many nights, and so what I do when I'm foraging for food, I just go in and see what I threw away yesterday.
Oh.
Okay, we got 3 more songs, guys.
I didn't hit that leave button fast enough. Have a good night, everybody.
Let's see y'all.
Queued up, Harry.
Okay, here we go. The next song. Okay, we got if every week was Friday, we got that one. Okay, Just Keep Breathing, Michael Roth. Okay, here we go, Michael. Let me get the lyric up. Just keep breathing. Okay. I'll go back to that.
She's got a city job, none at probation and parole. She got it out of high school, maybe 20 years ago. The girlfriends she knew then are all married off, except the one in prison and the one that owns a flower shop. She has a boyfriend she keeps in a photo. Future floats by down a dark, empty street, a discarded wrapper from somebody's dream, in a world that's protected by rockets and comes to an end. In the words of the prophet, she can't believe the things she believes in and sings. Just to keep breathing. La da da da, la da da. At the table in the kitchen, she picks apart some chicken bones for a vision of the Virgin or some kind of omen. Cottonwood branches beat time on the shutters. The lowrider stalks with the thunder of drummers. She waits for tomorrow, but morning has broken. Future floats by down a dark, empty street, a discarded wrapper from somebody's dream, in a world that's protected by rockets and comes to an end. In the words of the prophet, she can't believe the things she believes in and sings. Just to keep breathing. La da da da, la da da da. Friends and her family tell her she's pretty. When she looks in the mirror, it's cracked and it's dirty. She sleeps in a bedroom where somebody died once. There's nothing to fear, according to science, and her lips are the color of violence. The picture floats by down a dark, empty street. A discarded wrapper from somebody's dream. In a world that's protected by rockets and comes to an end. In the words of the prophet, she can't believe the things she believes in and sings, just to keep breathing. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
It's kind of dark.
I'll start out. Nice song.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well
beautiful.
done. Well done.
I got not much to say. The only thing I would say is you missed a golden opportunity with the third verse to make it a bridge.
Huh.
The third verse was a bridge and went somewhere different. The lyrics are okay. You might tweak them a little bit to make them more reflective, but you don't have to do that. But if that went somewhere else and went back to the chorus, it would double the impact of the song. It's a good song. You know,
Okay.
Good point.
I'm terrible at bridges.
don't want to say too much because
Yeah.
Oh, the drama is fantastic. The words just elicit feelings. It's wonderful.
Yeah, the imagery is very clear.
Great.
I think you should like release it close to Halloween.
It's a good idea.
Okay.
Are you going to put out Black Cat again at Halloween?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Got to do a push on it.
I will.
Whoa.
Hang on.
Also, Texas practice.
Well. Okay. So let's see. That
You
was
saw your whole life, Harry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey, we're getting down to the bottom of it, folks. We got on relief Seth Ginsburg again here. So he had three
This is
songs.
the last
today.
one.
Yeah,
And then
I
one
didn't
more.
realize people just sent in one song. I'll be honest. So if you don't want to do that, it's that's
No,
understandable.
if you paid for 3 songs, we'll hear them all.
All right.
On relief.
I never thought I'd find myself on relief. I never thought we'd be sitting in this line. Waiting for food in old pickup trucks. Feeling that we've been left behind. I never thought I would find myself on relief. I never thought I would ever feel so poor. But with the country shutting down, leaving frightened farms and towns, we've had to leave our pride outside the door. But what is pride after all if not a sin and a lie? To pretend that we, not the one, controls the times of our lives. Ask Joe. Yeah, I never thought I'd find myself on relief. But it's good to know that we can depend upon our friends. They've been there for us, and we'll be there for them. And together, we will leave this behind.
They're a little dark.
On that one too.
I'm getting depressed.
Dark Song Night.
For those that remember the old days of TV with Peter Gunn and stuff like that, it sounded like a guy walking down a rainy street back in the 1940s with a on being rained on, and he's talking a story about his life. Good.
Little Tom Waits feeling to it.
Big influence here.
I love your voice.
No, thanks.
So I got a question. Yours was the first song too with piano?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, man, you know, because I get the job of saying stuff that isn't as happy.
No, that's fair.
The first song had a higher level. I mean, I like the lyrics. I hear the song. Great idea, great stuff. The second song was a little different. First song I said was killer, but this one is just not up to that level. The lyrics are, but the way you're presenting it, it's just so like, it's just not as crisp as the first one was. I could see a bunch of stuff like the piano was somehow more jazzy or just going to a different audience. But this one just kind of sounded like mush with lyrics. And I think you just need to back off a little and crispen it up. You know, listen to the first one and tell me if it doesn't move you more than this one, just you. And just the presentation. It was hard to hear the lyrics in this one. And it was just some, you know, very mushy stuff going on. And I think you're hurting yourself with that.
Okay, good. Yeah, understood.
Get that vibe of the first one, which is like, what the hell is this? You know, but it was a little open. It was a little airy. It wasn't so just plastered with stuff. So I would really, you know, back off and lighten it up, get rid of some of the effects and let the lyrics come through a little more and take out about 2 or 3 of the parts.
So like you're saying that too much can be more than enough?
Yeah, too much. But I would just say the first one was a nice palette for what I was saying is a great direction you're going. Lyrically, this is going the same direction, but musically, you're missing the mark that you did on the first one.
Cool.
But, you know, cleaning up the recording, I could say, but I just said, you know, I've said too much.
No,
just,
thank you. Thank you.
That's what I'm hearing. So
I
air it
agree
out a
with
little bit and it'll sing. It'll move much better.
Okay.
You do need to pare back on the production a little bit. So, you know, you got too many conflicting melody line. I mean, you know, instrumental lines going on at the same time. Just pick one and you know,
or 2 or 3.
Or you know, but you know, not fighting each other. But the thing, I really like the mood of it and like the sound of it. But I think the lyrics really need a lot of filling in, kind of, and maybe go listen to a Tom Waits song, and you know, like the kind of what we call furniture in a song. I don't hear that kind of furniture, and I think you know, if you're gonna do that kind of song, you got a lot of material to work with.
God knows, yeah.
Yeah, so I just like go down and watch one of those scenes and just
that's how this came from watching TV and watching people in lines, and it just I wrote it in like a half an hour. I was just so upset by what I saw.
Okay, so you got a good first draft. So you know what they say, the secret of a good song is in the rewriting. I think that's what you need to do. I think you need to get some really tasty, doesn't have to be a lot, but you know, some really tasty lyrics that really like catch and are really hooky, you know, catch your eye, catch the sense of smell, you know, all the senses.
You know, if I may say something, one of the things that I liked about the last song that you did was the specificity the waitress, and there was a specificity, and I think you're right. I think I'm missing some of the specificity in this. It's more of a general thing. There's the first image, but I don't talk more about some of it.
Yeah, don't try to encompass everything. I think that at least that's my approach, and so I feel that in your song. I feel like there's a real kind of similarity in a lot of ways, and that's what I do is like to, they say that the personal is the universal, or whatever,
right?
So follow that person and see what he does, pick something out of the dumpster. What's it taste like? Does he spit it out? That sort of thing,
Excellent. Thank you.
Two different shoes because, they can't, that sort of thing he's wearing.
Sure.
But again, your first tune, I could hear like an album of that. And I love, so listen to that and figure out, are you playing the piano on that?
I play everything on everything.
Yeah. Well, for some reason or the other, that was just way more defined. I'm not saying make it all piano tunes, but listen to that and listen to this and ask yourself, the one I heard, okay, who's this guy? I listened to more of this, and then the other I didn't. So
okay, cool.
Something going on that first tune, and I'm going, okay, well, it's weird and it's nutty, but I don't care because it's something, it's a thing. And I just didn't get the thing in this thing. So
all right. Thank you.
Go back and focus on what if you like this one better than the other one, then I would say you got a different thing going on. As a publisher and as a guy that listens to 1,000 tunes a day sometimes, when one catches me, I go, oh yeah, okay, God, he got me. And so whatever that was going on, because it's very similar, in most ways. But there's certain ways that just that one was better and not lyric per se. But anyhow, enough.
Cool. Joe's the master.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I do this a lot.
No, it's believe me, it's appreciated. I'm not not that sensitive.
I mean, honestly, me neither.
I think we got one more song unless I'm overlooking something.
Give it up, Harry.
And we're gonna have a live performance by John Jaggers.
Yeah.
He's got lyrics, but I'm gonna pop the lyrics up after he does the song, and then y'all can look at the lyrics.
After you do, like
huh?
Would you rather have them look at them now, guys?
No, let's hear the song first.
All right. I am a simple man, ain't got much to say. My wife was with me 40 years, almost to the day. That final year, the pain and tears, the cancer had finally won. She said it's time to cross the line, now go and get your gun. I went and got my gun. Some trains are bound for heaven, some trains are bound for hell. Which train I'll be riding on, only God can tell. Sheriff said, don't go back in, leave her where she lie. Through my tears I begged him, please, I have to say goodbye. But he said, no, it's time to go, I'm taking you to jail. Those crying eyes and made-up lies won't throw me off your trail. See right through that veil. Some trains are bound for heaven, some trains are bound for hell. So which train I'll be riding on, only God can tell. Now there's a little instrumental here I haven't quite learned yet, so I'll just play the chords to it. fleeting face haunts my cell as days fade into years. They had to know I loved her, so I stayed right by her side. How can it be they only see the monster they described? A monster by her side. Some trains are bound for heaven, some trains are bound for hell. Which train I'll be riding on, only God can tell. Which train I'll be riding on, only God can tell.
Nice.
Yeah.
John, you write good
Keep
songs.
everything on a happy note.
Yes.
That's good.
You write good songs. You could have thrown a bridge in there, but it didn't really matter. Classic story song, good lyrics, story that most people identify with, especially these days. Pretty dark, but I'm glad you kept adding the line at the end every time. I thought you were going to skip one, and I was going to be disappointed.
That guitar in your melody line reminded me of one of the Clint Eastwood spaghetti western movies.
Ah, yes.
The only comment I have, John, is great song, but throughout the song, I thought that I didn't know what the title was, but I thought the title was "Only God Can Tell," and I think that's a better title than "Simple Man." To be honest with you.
I'm not wedded to it.
Only God Can Tell. It was a better title than "Simple Man" because that's what I heard as the title. Because I never saw the lyrics.
But you know, Michael, and my wife was an agent for 20 years in Hollywood. And when like movies are pitching and they say, I want a song about this and this and this, if you name the song that and you write the song about that, you'll never sell that song, at least in film and television. They want something off that, not so on the mark. And, you know, if you're that on the Simple Man, tells a whole different story than that. And I mean, you don't want to always just be on it, or it takes away from the story sometimes. And you certainly won't sell a song in a movie if the name of the movie is 40 years and you write the song 40 years, they hire you to write the song.
Right. It depends on where your market is. Yeah, it depends on where your market is. If you're trying to market it on radio, it needs to be.
Yeah, but Simple Man, I mean,
Simple Man may be a better title if you're doing other things. Yeah.
But Simple Man tells the story of the guy who really doesn't, he did the right thing and he doesn't understand what's happening to him, to me.
Right.
And the other thing doesn't say that. So the title tells a whole other side of the guy. So anyhow, I think that's a lot deeper.
Yeah, it's which way do you want to go kind of situation.
Yeah, I'd thought about some trains, but it just seemed like, come on, that's a train song. This Simple Man says more about what it's about. So that was why I went with it. But I understand the rule about, have it in the chorus and that sort of thing, kind of the hook rule or whatever.
Yeah, if you want people to remember the song. What was that song? Oh, Only God Can Tell. Yeah, now I remember that. Okay. But they'd never remember Simple Man. But if you're pitching it to, like Joe says, to TV or, movies, maybe Simple Man's a better title.
I thought it was Some Trains. I thought that was the title.
Good song, John. And the capo sounds great.
Yeah. Great capo.
I'm waiting for my free one in the mail.
You didn't get it yet?
No, man. But if you do another song, the critiques are going to go downhill from here, bud.
Good song, though.
Thank you.
I got to say goodnight because I actually have to wind up a work thing.
Well, thanks for sticking out until the end here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
You're the man.
All right.
Kicking us out, Harry.
I guess I really like your virtual background there.
My son made that.
Dude,
Nice.
That is cool.
Yeah, I know.
Pop that up there again. Make it say something.
when your kids, that one, that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When your kids are cool, it really, it's one of the pleasures of your heart, you know. If your kid makes something like that for you.
Yeah.
Well, that fits that song of yours, right?
Good night, Jessica.
Didn't you have a
Yeah.
song? You had a song about guns.
Oh, I had a different one for the
everybody.
For the song
night.
I did. That was that one. Oops. That one there. Which actually was the start of the song. I was driving by that place. Probation and parole.
Well, you know, you said you had that up when you had your "I don't have a personality." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" With a background like that.
Is that where you used to go to check in?
Yeah.
I'm a try.
Yeah, I went there to check in. No, I was just driving by. And I thought, you know, that got me thinking. And then I had this line, she got a steady job down at probation and parole.
Yeah.
That's what started the song.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm out of here, gentlemen. Thank you. We really enjoyed it.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you.
Seth Ginsburg, everyone.
Hey,
Thank you.
Hey, John Jaggers, are you still in Colorado?
He's gone.
Here you go. Oh, shoot.
Hey, Harry, thank you always for your work.
Thank you,
Thank
Alexis.
you, Alexis.
Thank you, Alexis. You
Bye.
great song.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right.
Well,
Great
they're
meeting,
leaving,
guys.
They're leaving us.
Thank you, Harry.
I guess the party's over.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, all you folks over there on Facebook. If you're still
All
there.
right.
Bye, Bobby.
Appreciate it.
Bye,
See you
Michael.
next
Bye,
time.
Harry. Bye,
Okay.
Rick.
If there is next time.
Night, Rick. Night, Bobby.
Night.
Night, Michael.
Bye, John Boy.
Night, Alexis. I'll see
Leave
y'all.
the light on for you.
Okay. Night, Facebook. Night, Facebook. Here we go.